Thank you for being with me today. We're going to 2 Corinthians 5:17. This is 5 Minutes of Faith. Second Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. I want to talk to you about walking and living in this new life that Christ has given to us. He purchased it with His own blood. He has made us and transformed us into His very image by His glory so that we can walk in a new way. We can see things in a new way, live and to think and to believe in a new way. And that new way is God's way. It's God's way. Jesus said, I am the way. I am the truth and the life. So we now have a new way of living and a new life to live. Too many Christians are still living in their old life. They believe in Jesus, but they don't understand what has happened to them on the inside. They don't have an understanding and a revelation of who Christ is in them and who they are in Christ. And they still believe that they're just that old sinner, barely saved by grace. They're going to heaven by the skin of their teeth. But man, they're struggling. They're struggling on this earth to live righteously. They're struggling to live holy. They're struggling to walk with God. They're always stumbling because they don't understand there's a new, powerful person that's been put on the inside of them. It's the Spirit of God in them. Look what it says in 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. If you're in Christ, you need to have a confidence, not arrogance, confidence that God has now put inside of you a new creation. You are a new creation. You are now a new person in Christ. I can live in this new creation. I can live after this new life. Romans chapter 6 verse 4 says, Therefore we were buried with Him through baptism into death, that just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life. See, a lot of times Christians are like, I'm trying. I just keep stumbling. I keep falling. I'm a sinner, and I'm just going to keep on sinning. There's no way out of it. Listen, I believe there is. I believe that we don't have to live after the old nature. We don't have to live after that sinful desire. We have a new person on the inside, a new spirit that's born of God, truly righteous and holy. It says here that by even Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we. See, there's a comparison here. The same glory that raised Christ from the dead has also raised you from the dead. That same glory is on the inside of you. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives and dwells in you. We have the capacity and the capability of living and walking in this new life because the glory of the Father, that same glory that raised Christ from the dead, it lives on the inside of us. See, this is where we miss it. We stumble and we fall too often because we're unaware. We are unaware of who we are in Christ, of what He's given us, what He's done in us. 2 Peter 1, verse 3 and 4. He says, As His divine power has given to us all things that pertain to life and godliness, through the knowledge of Him who called us by glory and virtue, by which have been given to us exceedingly great and precious promises. Watch this, that through these you may be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. See, again, if we only identify ourselves after the old sinful nature, I'm just an old sinner saved by grace. Well, there's a truth in that. I'm not denying that that's true. But what I'm saying is that we need to identify ourselves now after the new man, the new nature. We've been given a new nature. We have now been given and partakers of the divine nature. As much as you have an instinct and desire to walk in sin, you now, because you're born again, have a desire and instinct to walk in holiness, to follow Jesus, to obey Him, to honor Him. If we'll just understand, if we'll become more aware that I am brand new, why should I do those old things? I'm a new person. I want to do the new things that He has called me to. 2 Corinthians 3, verse 17 and 18. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Verse 18, But we all, with unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord. In other words, that reflection, the glory of the Lord is reflected back on us. Now again, somebody say, well, it's all about you. No, I'm not trying to be arrogant in this. I'm not trying to say, look what I've done. I'm saying, look what the Lord has done in us, in you, in all of those who are in Christ. Look what He's done. The glory of God. This pleases the Lord. This blesses His heart for us to understand and partake of His glory. It says, as the glory of the Lord are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as by the Spirit of the Lord. I understand that there is a progressive transformation. There's a progressive change happening, but you cannot even start the process of change until you finally realize, hey, I've been made new. I am a new person, a new creation in Christ, and I can walk by the Spirit, and I can walk in this newness of life. And by that knowledge and by that faith, you can now start to walk and live in this newness of life. So this has been another 5 minutes of faith.